Not intelligence, low-life redneck from Australia. How makes fun of child abuse and animals abuse. Indeed, he does.
Who are brought up in a Catholic household are far less likely to have sex as teenagers in comparison to kids who are not brought up in a Catholic household. Isn't that interesting? And we all know why that is. It's because Catholic kids have enough sex as kids.
Do you hear it? He makes jokes about children are abused actually by Catholic priests. What despicable little nitwit. So he also makes fun of
a lot of white characteristics, like a job, and I was a woman or black. I wish that I had something wrong with me, like I was a woman or black.
So he is also racist and sexist, because he did make fun of that in this part of it, the video, where I actually go on a podium and actually makes fun of despicable jokes. What he also does is making fun of the mentally devious. Yeah.
That was an interesting segue. So was he.
Here, there, on that place, like Joey Carpstrong did show, he was making fun of crippled people. So you see what kind of despicable kind of jokes this guy actually makes. So I think this is good to see it and actually focus on before we go into further in this video. I also need to look if I can actually make it visible so we can see actually what the other people saying. Come on. So, new fenster. So.
Come on here, you good motherfuckers. What's going on? Hope you're doing alright, enjoying yourself being locked in your house. As far as crazy psycho vegans are concerned, there's two.
You say crazy psycho vegans? Sorry, but so far I know, vegans don't kill or do anything else what can be considered psychotic or psychopathic. That you are feel offended because vegans called you out on how ugly your beard is, or how sweaty you look and unhealthy, and how much of a shitcunt you are actually being for only caring about yourself. Sorry guy, that's your problem. Let me go further.
And out in my mind. Number one is vegan gains, who carries on like an absolute pork chop, has threatened many people.
Threaten many people like you do and screaming like an idiot. In contrary with you, vegan gamers today quite relaxed and very chill in most of his videos. So it seems he have grown up when you are still a spoiled brat how like to rant about stuff that irritates him, because your brain is too smart to actually watch things from other perspective than your own. It's called narcissism.
Over his entire career on the YouTubes, and he's great fun to poke fun at. But number two is a certain somebody that let's as a group attack today. This motherfucker's now
attack? You are now already say that you are a violent person now, so sorry, but the reason I am actually at home attacking him right now is because he likes to do it with others. So you can see, or we'll see in this video. So if you look to the title, ex-gang member turns vegan activist, this video is actually him attacking the great activist Joey Carpstrong. I was indeed, once a criminal gang member. But he did turn his life around, just like another certain activist that is called Malcolm X. I did make a video actually about that topic. So if you want to see that, I'm gonna to show you a video where actually we're talking about Macomix versus sorry, I have a bit of a problem with YouTube right now. I did not want to go directly to my channel, but yeah, my lighting was very bad on that part of the video, so forgive me for that. But it's basically this video where I actually did do a review of Malcolm X bio, and I did also compare some of the life decisions that Malcolm X did make and that Joey Carbstrong did make. Both were once criminals. And both did turn their life around. So, if you want to attack Joey Carbstrong on being once in a criminal scenario, also attack those people. But I think you do because you are racist.
Is Joey Armstrong, but you may know him as.
And also Joey Carbstrong did actually been open about his criminal past, in contrary with you, how is disingenuous person, how nitpick, cherry pick, and actually does on ad hominem attacks in most of your videos.
Carbstrong. But before we get into the video, check out these brand new stickers that we have released, and I can't say the name of the stickers because then this video will get quashed by YouTube.
Yeah, coronavirus. Funny that you come up with that. Coronavirus was probably caused by consumption of animals. That did come from bats and this being transported to pangolins. That's how people get it. Today, like another great YouTuber I watch sometimes did say actually in his video about coronavirus, a guy that was called Mike the Vegan.
To look at one type of workplace that has a startling rate of infection across the US, with one location having over half of the cases of that entire state, being the largest hotspot in the entire US. And we're talking about those meat packing plants, which, let's be honest, we should just call slaughterhouses. No point in sugarcoating it. You can't just put the word plant next to it and make it okay. That does not work. But don't worry, in order to make watching this subject, let's go. And yes, my beard is gone. Has a larger per capita infection rate in the state of New York, and that's because of a Tyson slaughterhouse outbreak. You know, there's a Wisconsin slaughterhouse outbreak, but they've concealed the numbers. There was also a JBS slaughterhouse in Greeley, Colorado, and we have 4 deaths from that. They claim about 100 cases, but let's be honest, if you have 4 deaths that got infected somehow throughout the supply chain, and they're making it to these slaughterhouses where they are then infecting the people who are working there. Or option C, a combination of both. And we know that slaughterhouses are horrible places to work for people. Obviously, they're the worst place in the world for animals, but there's a lot of sort of human rights violations going on, and especially There's some major catastrophic corporate decisions going on here. Clearly, these large corporations have chosen to continue production and to continue profiting at the expense of their largely immigrant workforce.
So, if you want to know anything more about that, go further. So if you want to boycott coronavirus, go vegan. Don't listen to this retard.
Because we're not allowed to talk about this shit at the moment. Anyway, they go to the merch store and pick up a t-shirt or a sticker or a hat. Joey Carbstrong. Could you imagine picking your online persona and you decide to go as fuck, you little turd? Anyway, this shit for brains has been storming supermarkets and
Shit for brains, so you're going to also... can you be even more rude, actually? Being angry and screaming does not work for you. It maybe did work for people like George Carlin. I was actually smart, but not for actually mentally ill redneck like you. And sorry, I think that is an insult to mentally ill people.
carrying on like an absolute cocksmoker.
Cocksmother? Yeah. Now he is not only going to insult women and black people, but now is he also going to insult homosexuals? Are sucking on the testicles of other males? So, you're so pathetic, little boy.
Trying to push his shit doctrine about meat is murder.
Sorry, but murder is this is when you're taking the life of some other living being who don't want to die. Shut up with your anthropocentric I'm a crybaby like interpretation of only people can be singing birthdays. Sorry, but that is ridiculous. It's outdated, it is archaic, and that mindset should be stopped. This is a quite simple, actually, one of the problems with our society. Animals are not food. Animals are living beings. They have a central nervous system connected to a brain, so unlike plants, they can suffer and can remember the pain. And yeah, and it takes up to from 5 to 26 times of plant food to produce 1 pound of animal flesh, dependent on the animal species in question. If you're going to with a lower statistics, you get from 3 to 16, but that's still a lot. So don't say plants go suffer. Please don't say that in this video, Butterboy.
Abuse, etc. Basically yelling at people because of their dietary.
Dietary choice? No. Eating a potato diet or eating a fruit diet, that's a dietary choice. It is not a true choice when there is a victim in the scenario. If there is a victim in the scenario, then it is not more a choice than choosing to molest somebody or not. By the way, in some countries it is legal to molest white crackers like you. I mean, Saudi Arabia, where men that are white have near to no privilege, in country where you live.
Choices. But ladies and gentlemen, Joey Carb Armstrong. This dickhead's dirt. It will be dished soon. Trust me. Stick around for this. You want to see this shit. But firstly, if you deem the following measures taken as too extreme or too aggressive and forceful, I want you to ask yourself a question. What's more extreme, aggressive and forceful? Forcibly breeding billions of animals for the sole purpose of forcing a knife into their neck and forcing them to die? It sounds like you're forcing.
Forcing? Dumb little arrogant scream baby. Stop acting like people like James Hammond, the governor of South Carolina. How did basically say the abolitionist reasoning in the abstract, if it be some moral or political or minor question in politics, the recklessness and arrogance that forget completely ours and one are the destruction of our property, the erections of our lives. That's what you are sounding like. You are sounding like an arrogant, pretentious guy who refused to see his wrongs and refused to place himself in their position. I bet you have never stand up for anybody who were oppressed. I think you are a spoiled, first world, white guy who was probably a bully in school.
Your opinion on us, dickhead.
Or asking people to stop paying for it to happen. Also, you ask yourself this. How quiet would you want us to be if you were the victim?
Peace begins on the dinner table, people. So why choose violence?
Animal rights. Traveled to... Workers grabbed them by the nose with a metal hook and pinned their heads to the floor. With
Violence. That's what I do everywhere. This is what violence is. This is what you pay for this kind of despicable things. This is even not the worst kind of scenario. Temple is, by the way, I bet the reincarnation of Himmler. I think she is not autistic. I think she is misdiagnosed and is actually a psychopath. Maybe just like Butterfield.
Joey, if I was being chopped up and sold in a supermarket, I don't think you're...
Butterfield, it seems you seems to be incapable of understanding supply and demand. Let I try to explain it to you in a very simple way. If people like you are starting to stop eating animals over time because of supply and demands, you help to stop the industry because those industries are only existing because of people like you who give them money. That's how supply and demand works. So if people are going to actually eat less animals or stop eating animals and going vegan and get inspired because of the cruelty they see and they don't want to be supported anymore, it will stop. Do you get it? Or must we talk even more like we are talking to a little child? A spoiled child.
Group of mind-washed fucking mingers would be able to save me from fucking anything. I think it's a little bit too late. The fucking way, I got things to do!
Alright, so we've got a bunch of activists here with TV showing people Australian animal agriculture, disgusting practices. We're going to go into the shops and show people what they pay for when they eat animal products. I mean, we're just showing everyone where their dairy comes from, the bobby calves that are killed, and
The poor manager at Coles.
The poor manager. What do you think from all the baby calves that you show in your video?
animal agriculture, disgusting practices.
The baby calves, the bobby calves are actually have you ever seen actually one of those concentration camps? Yes, I call them concentration camps. For a reason why I call them concentration camps is because they are basically based on concentration camps. Look put on the animal. Oh. Look. Concentration camps. Some other thing I can maybe show you. Himmler himself, Hitler's right hand, was a chicken farmer before he did orchestrate the Jewish concentration camps. Where is it? Jewish virtual library. He did basically get an agricultural degree. Do you see? I think this is even more proof that Hitler was actually a non-vegan, just like his followers.
Let's just listen to that again. Did you?
Don't have any communication with anyone, so
You know, the manager here seems a little bit frightened.
Frightened.
only like I'll let you go inside. I don't have any communication with anyone.
Seems just like a normal conversation to me. Seems not to be very afraid.
A little bit about Joey's past.
Oh, yeah. Now it comes on the part where I was saying he was playing the ex-convict card. You know? Just like with Joey Carbstrong. Another great activist with the name of Malcolm X. To often be a criminal is not a disgrace. To remain a criminal is the disgrace. That's what he did say. If you want to see it. He wasn't. Malcolm X did also have not an easy startup. His father was killed by the Ku Klux Klan. His mother was labeled insane and put in a mental hospital. He did have not the best friends. So, in contrary with you, spoiled guy, how I suggest have never suffered once in their whole life, because otherwise you will be not such arrogant and obnoxious. Let me go back to my channel. So, Malcolm X. In this video, I actually were talking about Malcolm X and his ex-criminal behavior, and how also Joey Carpstrong's history is also quite similar. He did not come from a good background. He did have not good friends. I think if you are studying actually people like him, you will have not be such arrogant. To just dismiss somebody because they did have not always the best friends in their life. But you are spoiled brat. It is quite easy to see.
What other people have had to say about Joey. Let's read some reports on off shotgun.
Yeah, just like Malcolm X. When he still was known as destroyed rat. Yeah. As Joey Carpstrong, he was thinking, should he go further to school if he never will become that it's get all of the come in the ghetto, become a very disgusting gangster. I think even a worse kind of gangster as Joey Carpstrong was. No, or was actually. Tell me in the comments if you 20th year and then he goes to prison. prison. After that, in prison, he started to become a member of the Nation of Islam, a group who supports black supremacism in a kind of way. But it was good for him because of the teachings of Elijah Muhammad. He is come completely off of the drugs. Later in life, he had at least had one time visits with direct contact with Dr. King, and Malcolm X later on also later in his life, when he have first met Betty, his wife, and have 3 children. And it was something of a mistake, because he understands that there can do stuff and there can be allies. They can talk to other wives and explain the idea of also of respecting blacks, and maybe they will want to listen better to a white person in some cases. They are very deep into the racist mindset, and that's at that moment he started to view the society more in a class system way, with another kind of classism from the classism he said before. More
29 bullets and a flick knife instead. Get me wrong, we know there is other people that rock around with deadly weapons in their pants, like that giant of bugs, to support his own habit. Yeah, that's what.
yeah, like him. Like him with his no idea.
Yeah, that's what good people do. He spent much of his youth. We're gonna have to change your name.
Her whole life had her children stolen and murdered for cheese and milk. So boycott dairy products and meat products. They're horrible. Animal abuse.
This, ladies and gentlemen, says it all. Shut the fuck up, Joey. Go home, lube up a few cucumbers, and.
This is disgusting. Hi, Chris.
How are you, mate?
Dairy cows have been slaughtered and their calves have been stolen from them. So we're here
Do you have any approval to be?
On several occasions in this video, Joe.
between and not what they show on the.
Got any paperwork?
On several occasions in this video, Joey has stated that he was asked by Dairy Australia to actually come to this supermarket. So I thought I'd hit up Dairy Australia and ask if Junkie Joey was on their books. I said,
You talk about junkie, you call him junkie, when you are actually probably yeah, when the majority of the people actually suck on the tits of an other animal, we'd have also morphine. You know, morphine is an opioid-like substance. And I was actually working on an essay about autism. And morphines. So you can see if this fat ass goes a bit out of the way. Okay, so casein have opioid-like effects. Which can cause also autism, like some of those links suggest. It also a low bone density and autism can also by actually probably lack of diversity in diet. Like a lot of people with autism have actually eat too little fruit, and eating too little fruit is actually basically, if you want to do if you want that I do a video about that, basically a lack in fruit is basically a reason of a lot of our diseases. Also, I'm not the only one that says that. People like Dr. Greger do say that, and Neil Bernard, most of people in the scientific community that know actually a bit about food. But let's listen to this problem child.
They are scared. And I would be scared. Everything bad in this world.
This milk. This milk is violence and torture.
Yeah. Dairy is scary. Sorry, but people, the dairy industry artificially inseminates cows.
The dairy industry is mean, psychotic, and rapey. In the dairy industry, bulls are sadomasochistically masturbated and anally raped by a farmer with a stunning device that is a metal stick that is put into the anus of the bull
to forcibly inject urinate. That's what the dairy industry does. It is a rape industry. Also, it's put their hands into the fetal procuration work of a cow, takes out a bit of the shit, and later then inject her with those sperm from the wool those farmers have collected by selectively masturbating the wool. The farmers are probably so deluded in their cult mentality that they think that this is nothing cruel. But that's just like the Charles Manson murderer were connected. Those people were brainwashed to believing that they're psychotic things. So,
Yeah. Did you think about them, Joey Carbstrong, you absolute that built those TVs for 4 cents a fucking year? Did you think about them, Joey? On that point, the TV
and cruel and abusive it is, and it's just torturing and
absolute twat.
so he needs to show me where in some
Cents a fucking year. Did you think cents a fucking year?
oh yeah, in this part, actually, he was attacking the activists because of the TVs that were actually all around the neck, and saying they were cheap and actually probably built in China with slave labor, forgetting that first, those children are not actually killed for their labor. No one actually tried to slit the throats of those children. So basically, comparing probably maybe child labor actually to slitting the throats of innocent living beings who don't want to die, to some animal activists have shown with large TV screens actually what will happen in the animal agriculture, is basically saying that this is basically comparable to actually when rapist actually tries to blame the rape on the victim because she was some spicy lawyer is actually blaming the rape on the victim instead of his client, and blaming that she should not wear certain kinds of clothes. Do you get what I mean? This guy is also wearing probably cheap materials that are made in China. I'm not believing he truly cares about that stuff. It's just a straw man. He just tries to find, throw shit until it sticks on somewhere, because he is a spoiled brat who actually can't stand logical response to his insanity, you know. Butter boy. The definition of insanity is doing something over and over again and expecting a different result. all vegans, how do a response to you, will you actually look like you are a mentally ill crazy person? No offense to people who are truly mentally ill, but this guy just plays dumb, I think. It's just evil. And if he is not, prove it. Prove that you are not evil, Butterboy. Go vegan. Oh yeah. You know, to put a little bit shit on you. Any 2 seconds, a child starves from starvation. Do you know why? It's because we are feeding the majority of soy and corn and wheat to livestock animals. Over, it's maybe a shock for you, but over 80% of all the soy on the planet, like I did say in my video about the rainforest, comes from, is actually given to livestock, like cows and chickens and pigs. Like I did say in my video about what is destroying the rainforest. I say it is just one thing, mainly one thing. It is animal agriculture. Yeah, it's this one.
The rainforest is burning out. This year already more than 74,000 tons less acres of land. It is unsustainable. If you want to save the size of just 1.2 acres, around 80 beetle species were found in Borneo. There were found around 700 tree species found in just 2.5 acres. In Colombia, there are over 1,500 bird species. Indeed, all the soil on this planet is feed production. But do you know that at least 80%, some say even 90% of all the soil on this planet is feed to livestock, and around 70% of all the corn on the planet is feed for livestock? I say at least.
So here below are all the sources, like I do most of the time in all my videos. Maybe I should put this link somewhere here. Furthermore, nowhere on the whole face of the earth animals are, people are treated even close to the barbarity way that the animals are treated. Show me a place where people are bred to be murdered, where they're on the day they are born, somebody else already decided how they will die. and which kind of torture they will find themselves in. You can't, little boy, because you are dishonest.
Gun with 29 bullets and a flick knife instead.
What about it? I've been completely open that I got caught with a firearm. My latest post on Instagram just yesterday. Do you come from?
Oh yeah, about that study where I was talking about. It is actually in the comment section of my video. Not in this one, but in my video actually that I'm streaming right now. Everything is working good. Just to show that I'm not making stuff up. Unlike Butterboy. Unlike Butterboy, I have unconscious.
Wouldn't you agree, Joey?
A great nutrition regime. Like, look, if you want nutritional advice, just check out the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. They say your vegan diet can be healthy for all stages of the life cycle: infancy, pregnancy, adulthood. Absolutely.
Indeed. Like Joey Armstrong is saying his response video to this guy, Butterboy, to give you some other thing to actually think about. I am vegan for the majority of my life right now. I did start my vegan journey around when I was 12. I'm now 28. So it's another truth bomb. You can be vegan a long time, so stop. Be such annoying little fracker.
Junkie Joey Armstrong. Recently, he stormed a coal store, link below. On several occasions, he stated that he received permission from Dairy Australia to attend the store to show the alleged animal cruelty of the dairy industry as a whole. Can you
Again. This is a rape rack. This is a torture device, a bestiality device, made by the farmers to molest animals. They are also sometimes used torture devices like that in dog breeding. The animals cannot run away. They're locked between bars. And then the babies are stolen away. I don't say stuff like that to upset you. I say it because I care about the animals. And I hope some of your fans will also. I see how much of a douchebag you are. Because it seems clearly that you don't care about anything but yourself. Prove me wrong. Become a true tough man and go vegan. Speak up for innocent living beings instead of being a joke like you are right now.
To go into a supermarket to expose their horrific industry, I wish they did get back to you and go, well, he shouldn't be saying that. And I'll be like, well, let's look at the evidence. It's not alleged that the dairy industry is cruel and abusive. It's absolutely prevalent in the industry. The whole industry is built. The foundations of the industry, the standard practices of the dairy industry are cruel and abusive. There is no debate about it.
Perhaps they are scared. And I would be scared too. Because remember, milk is murder, milk is rape, milk is sexual assault.
Milk.
Are sadomasochistically masturbated and anally raped by a farmer with a stunning device that is a metal stick that is put in the anus of the bull to avoid ejaculate. That's what the dairy industry does. It is a rape industry. Also, it's put their hands into the fecal procreation organ of a cow, takes out a bit of the shin, and later then inject her with those sperm from the bull those farmers have collected by self-masturbating bull. The farmers are probably so deluded in their cult mentality that they think that this is nothing cruel. But that's just like the Charles Manson murderer were connected. Those people were brainwashed to believing that their psychotic things are slave masters. All but thinking that it is not cruel and savage to rape a black woman. Check out Hammond's letters on slavery. Or maybe the book Nico Man.
Where he's got a milk bottle tied up and he's stabbing it. He's a comedian. He's trying to be funny. He's trying to poke fun at my criminal history, and this is what we should do to the dairy industry. If that represented the dairy industry, like if this was symbolic of the destruction of the dairy industry, I'd be all for it. But I'm not for stabbing people in the dairy industry. I want them to stop stabbing.
Stabbing people. Wat bedoelt people moet het uit actually? Joey. I think if people in the dairy industry stopped with raping animals, I'd wish things on them. Personally. But as long as they do it, I have no problem with a little bit of rhetoric to help them the right direction, if you know what I mean.
Kill something to eat it, but it's what human beings have been doing since the dawn of time.
So, also, Butterboy also says in his video that people have done something since the dawn of time. Using this logic, also we should not do something about domestic violence or against racism or against actually taller, stronger or intelligent men actually abusing dumber, smaller or less intelligent men. Because this is always also done since the earliest of time. Or people killing other people. That something is done for a long period of time does not make it morally okay. And that's why I am vegan and you are mentally weak, I think. If I look to the arguments that you bring up and a lot of your other content. For example, when you are actually attacking women for not want to shave their legs, when it is their right to do with their body whatever they want, even if you don't like it, should I actually attack you and your beard because I find your beard gross? And also because of coronavirus, you probably should shave your beard because that's one of the things there say that you should not have a beard with the coronavirus because it attracts filth. these are all the beards you should not wear. So you see redneck guy beards like Joey Carpstrong. No, it's like Joey Carpstrong like Butterboy. It's not okay. It's far too bushy and far too much getting gross bacteria in, can stick food in. So some beard like that is gross. Shave your beard. For God's sake.
about animals at all. So you tried talking about the animal cruelty in the dairy industry. Even they go, oh, that guy's he's too aggressive and rude. See about the media.
So basically, I think that's all I want to say about Butterboy today. If Butterboy wants to debate me, actually, I try to be a rational person instead of an annoying redneck. That's it's just loudmouth ridiculous tool. I'm ready to debate him 100% of the time because he is often not even doing research, so I win by default. When darkness and light become one, the red is split away.